Welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach, global coach Francis Zerkley from the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have to find all the way from Toronto, Ontario, back in the house, the co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome back Mr. ENORTAP.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation, on this wonderful Tuesday, November the 8th. Are you ready for 11 games tonight, Coach?
I'm ready to rock and roll. 11 game tonight, but this is going to be the most difficult night at the prediction of my life.
I think so. There's about 5 games that are like...
Oh, I would go with 7 or 8.
Nah, 5.
You have more confidence than me. I have no clue what to do tonight. I'm confusing a lot right now. But we'll see what's happening, Mr. Nata, because we have a couple of people who show up in the building. Tonight, we're going to start the game really earlier because we have too many things to talk about. We're going to do a couple of news around the league, NHL, and then we're going to jump in for the 11th game. We want to remind everybody, guys, we put the email up because each one of you should send us an email and give us your prediction of the night. Big night in hockey for sure. The HNLS warmup at gmail.com. Mr. Nortap is all over this every single day, guys. So the man is going to control everything for sure. And we have a few people who are going to welcome Mr. Nortap right away. And I'm talking about RJ Calabro already in the house. Mr. Nortap.
RJ, welcome, buddy.
Without RJ, it will be impossible. He is the man of everything, Mr. Nortap. So welcome back. What about Mr. Alan Barnes? My friend from Twitter is in the house tonight. Alan Barnes, welcome in the house.
Hey, Alan. Welcome aboard.
And our friend, Colorado Avalanche fans, Mr. Steve G is in the house. We know, obviously, for the Colorado, the bad news accumulate, increasing day after day. We're going to talk about what's going on over there. What about Mr. Giamo Vartanen, directly from Finland? Welcome back in the house. Thanks to be with us tonight, Mr. Giamo. And then we have 8 likes. Marc Bourgie. Is it cold or dark in the jail, Mr. ENORTAP? You've been there more often this year.
Just twice, Coach. I had to check out the conditions. It's not bad. It has a humidifier, so you don't have to worry about mugginess. It has,
so you enjoy more you like the new renovation we did with Roger and during summer.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great.
But I prefer the bus. The party bus.
Yeah, you don't like to go there. When you're there, you'll be fine because 24 hours you're out. But still, it's not a location you want to be because you never know what could happen over there. So, yep. So, right, Mark. So, enjoy your time over there.
No names, Coach.
Yeah, exactly.
No names,
give us some feedback, Mark. So, about this. What about our friend, Mr. Nortap? Randy is in the house.
Hey, Randy. Aren't you supposed to be neutral? Yes, of course.
Talk about talk about Mr. Nortap of the jail. I think it's time to send him right away there because he wants to enjoy Mr. Nortap. He is the only one. He's going to be on the bus tour for the next couple hours. I'm talking about Randy W with an amazing, great performance at 3-0 yesterday. Mr. Nortap, he nailed it again. So let's celebrate his tour with Roger as a driver.
Here you go, Randy.
It's all for you, Mr. Randy. Celebrate, enjoy, have fun, and let us know what you think about your tour, the bus tour with Roger. You never know, Roger, what he can bring you. He can bring you to Walmart. He can bring you to the church. I don't know. It's really amazing what he does, Roger. So we'll be interesting about
that. Randy, don't bring your wife.
That's a good news. That's the first thing you have to do about this one over there. Do not bring more people you want to bring. Because you never know what could happen about this. By the way, Mr. Nortap, forgot to mention this, but this is election day in USA today, so will be interesting to see what it look like after that. And Miss Kelly in the house, Mr. Nortap.
Hello, Miss Kelly. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for being with us tonight. What about is driving between the business to home? The food is ready. Dixon Automotive Group is in the house.
Dixon, welcome aboard, buddy.
From Utah, Los Angeles King and Mr. Run with Kings 20. Welcome back in the house. Thanks to be with us.
Hey, Run. How's it going, buddy?
Tony the Dagger, Mr. ENORTAP. Tony the Dagger is in the house.
Welcome, Tony.
Maybe Montreal Canadian visit, the company Kellogg's, like Tony the Tiger, because that's where they make the cereal in Michigan. Another subject for another time. Joseph LANHAM, keep smiling, but bad news. Listen, the Devils. We'll talk about this in the next couple of minutes. I think it's November for you, so happy birthday, and me too. Congratulations, Yamo. Yeah. It's really funny, Mr. ENORTAP, because honestly, we are 8 right now talking, but I'm already 9, so it's like I think it's going to be a little bit longer this year. But talking about birthday, Mr. ENORTAP, congratulations, happy birthday, Yamo. And but yesterday was an amazing, great day, and you learn when you visit a new country. You don't know what's going on, But yesterday was an amazing, one of the biggest day, I believe. Of the year. It's called the Loy Kratonk. It's a kind of holidays for forgiveness or gratitude or thankful day where the people buy some kind of, I don't know the word, I don't know. It's like a toy we said to you with the kind of lights on it, and you throw your wish. And it's a little bit like the new year. You want to, for the upcoming year, you want to wish to have this, and they send this on the water. Some is the river. We have a beach here, and they flow on this and they go, and then that's a really pretty and neat holiday. Yeah. And it was a big celebration, guys. Like a tailgate everywhere. We have at least like 30% more people, and I at the point I have to leave. I left at 9:30 after I finished my video to walk around until midnight. I could not go to bed. You have fireworks at midnight. It was crazy, Mr. ENORTAP. Wow. But great experience to learning. Stop talking with people, and they try to teaching me. They try to helping me, and it's pretty cool. If I stop everywhere I stop, they offer me 3 things: drink and food. So I will never come back. I will never be ready for this morning to talk to you, Mr. ENORTAP. But I just want to share with you my experience.
In essence, it's like a festival of lights, is what you're telling us?
I'm sorry again?
It's a festival of lights?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you have a lights everywhere. They send orders they send the lights on the air too. That's another thing they do, and then their fireworks after that. So it's pretty cool. Neat. It's like not a kind of an umbrella, but they fly this. They put the light between this, and then they go around. Like go like all the way around, but they can go all the way up, and then it disappears. But it's pretty cool.
Those devices that are lit with a teacup and set off in the water, those are actually what are called gratons, if I'm not mistaken.
Possible.
So that's why it's named after that, I think.
Yeah, it's all made, by the way, Mr. ENORTAP, all made by hands. So they are there, and they cut, and they make all the produce around together, and they put this all, and you have table every 10 feet, and they sell this, and they have food everywhere, and they all sit everywhere. It's pretty cool. It's really great fun to watching. I have a few pictures I took yesterday, and a video, of course, of that part. So pretty amazing to see that.
Send us a picture, Coach. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'll be ready for next year. I put this on my calendar. So that would be a good thing to set up about it. Because someone asked me yesterday, said, hey, are you going to the Loy Kratonk? I thought it was a concert. Honestly, I thought it was a concert. I said, I don't like too much the music. They look at me. So now I understand why.
You must be from America.
Exactly about this one over there. But we have Dawson Gamer 2010 is in the house. Welcome back.
Welcome, Dawson.
Thanks so much, Mr. Steve G. Richard Molin, welcome back, Rick. Thanks to be with us, Richie, the man of the men. I win from yesterday. Been the only 3-0. What do I win? But you win a tour on the bus, and you have to wait because you get some stuff from Roger. Roger is get everything about this. We have a Danny T is in the house. Welcome back, Mr. Danny T.
Hey, the captain, Danny
Jose
T.
Duarte is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. Thanks so much, all the
Jose the
moderator.
man. Welcome
About
aboard.
this one over there. What about another moderator, Luciano Graziano?
Graziano.
And the house tonight about
Hey.
this. Thanks to be with us. Maybe you win a flame jersey, Randy, tonight. Possible. I don't know if you want to keep it, but will be interesting. And need to play a 60-minute from what you said about this. And I just try to get dinner time for Region, Mr. ENORTAP. And Fernando Tavares.
Fernando.
Hi, Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense, Fernando. I think that's maybe one that you can yeah, I like that idea, Fernando. Tied Thanksgiving about this one over there. So I've done it, and then it's like a paperback where you can write something about this. Yeah, another way to go, that one over there. So I love your explanation about our goalie session last night. I love you. You're welcome, Tony. Glad to hear that. It's like a candle inside a bag, like a air balloon. Yeah, exactly. Air balloon is really the expressions about this one over there. I like that one over there. RJ. Then Alexi is in the house. How ENORTAP like the 2022 draft crop for the Habs, Mr. ENORTAP? How do you feel that?
I'm very bullish on the very first two rounds for sure. All four prospects look like they're very promising. In the second round, we got Beck and Hudson, so that was great. And even a couple of other players in the third round. Well, one really in the third round was solid. And you know what? Any hockey draft year, if you can get I'd say two players that eventually make it to the NHL and have some sort of impact on any team, that's considered successful. So I'm glad to see that we have four that look very promising.
Yeah, and you can add, of course, Ruhr, Candon,
Brewer, yeah.
Angstrom, Nurmi. So it was a deep, good draft pick. I can wait for next season, Mr. ENORTAP, where I prove now for Fantelli or Leo Carlson. Mr. Stu
Pedazo!
Pedazo!
Welcome, Stu.
Thanks so much, Stu and Luciano. I appreciate it. What about Mr. Adam Van Arco?
Is it your birthday as well, Coach?
Alan, thanks so much. Well, I appreciate a lot, everybody.
Is it your birthday as well,
I don't
Coach, or no?
celebrate Thanksgiving. It's very fun about this. Sorry, Mr. ENORTAP. I missed what you said.
I said, is it your birthday as well, or just Yarmo's?
No, we are the same day. Me and Yamo, Mr. ENORTAP.
Oh, well, we got to get the music cracked up.
We
Come
have to
on,
wait
Coach.
a bit. It's confusing, Mr. ENORTAP, because we said November 8th and USC.
It's okay. Today's November 8th. Let's do it.
So we're
Ready?
going to go tomorrow about this one with there, Mr. ENORTAP. I think it'll be better that one with it. It'll be more ready. Maybe a W for the Detroit Red Wings or the Montreal Canadiens would be satisfied me about this. Maybe I should get a free pass to the jail tonight if I win. If I lost tonight, me and Yamo, we have a free pass. I think they would send me a message. I need to check my email a bit better about this one or there.
I got to talk to DeWitt.
The only time you get a free pass is when you get your birthday. Do you think that would be closely on the New York Canadiens versus Flame game last night?
Are you referring, Fernando, to the last goal that was scored?
Do you think
Because
that was controversy in the New York Canadiens Flame games last night? You talk about maybe the penalty on the end of the overtime?
Yeah, that caused the goal.
Yeah.
I think in overtime. I think that's what they were arguing about, or I don't know much. I haven't seen the actual clip of the penalty, but if that's what you're asking, I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
Yeah, it's a cross checking by Remus Anderson. I think Pelech sold it a little bit more what you expect, right? And I think after that he
Surprise.
stand up and then he go on the Anderson. I think at that moment you should give both of them a 2 minute penalty. I think that would be the right call after that. Again, Anderson didn't push him
Embellishment.
like the way Pelech fall is like he got killed, and then Anderson the way he hit him is like just pushing. So just you see which one you want to
Oh
go
boy.
that direction about that one over there, but. That's happening, Mr. Natap. Alan said, Coach, you turned 25, multiplied by almost like three, Alan, unfortunately. A penalty
Just
and no call, Fernando, about this. I did not watch the
yeah.
game all. If you talk about the game overall, I did not watch it all game, but I just watched the end of this one there. Yamo said free massage. That would be a part of this one. No, the call on the Max on the
They're free anyways in
no
Thailand.
call on Max Strom. You talk about.
The non-call on Mark.
I did not see that one, Fernando. Unfortunately, I
Yeah, I
did not
didn't
watch the
either.
game.
Yeah.
About this one. Let's take Coach to Holders at Go. Yep, I would love to get there. I cannot believe Islanders won. I want to sleep after 40 minutes. Yes, Yamo, 2 goals inside 1 minute.
Neither could I, Yarmo.
Another
I
comeback,
could have had a
Mr.
perfect
Natap,
record.
yesterday. Let's talking about something we have on Mr. Natap, and then we can move on with element game of the program. So we have to be ready. App news,
We're ready.
Ren Pitlick, like many people thought he's going to be climbed. It did not get climbed, so he's going to be the Laval Rocket. What you thought about this?
Not surprising because with like if somebody was going to pick him up, they would have had to find room for him in, I'd say, the top 6, the top 2 lines probably, or at the very least, the 3rd line, so that he gets the kind of ice time I think he wanted. So it's not surprising. I think if anything, he'll go down. He's a hard worker. He might get some confidence back in his game, and he can return later on and hopefully impact us. Because you got to believe, maybe not so much now, but around trade deadline time, either through that or through injuries, through the trade deadline and players leaving, there's going to be room for him. So I'm glad that he's still within the organization.
Yeah, and one thing I would mention to you is this was a great move for the experience the can use. Yes, to give him an extra year contract of $1.1 million, play and the balance to not get claimed because the team doesn't want to give a 2-year contract at $1.1 million. They have to send him to the American Hockey League. So great move for them during that season. And that's one of the reasons why he did not can claim it. Chicago, welcome back to the house. Thanks so much for your wish. They talk about the flat foot again, the lenders on the Max Strom no call, Mr. Natap. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it. I watched a lot of things, but I did not follow that story. I apologize about this, Mr. Natap.
Yeah.
Steve said a bat no call for that one there, and I agree, Fernando, about this. The referee yesterday was inconsistent. Like I said, did not follow the game yesterday. Mr. Rudolph is in the house, Mr. Natap. Thanks so much.
Hey,
Thanks so much,
Rudolph, how
Mr.
are you?
Rudolph, about this. Did McDavid get over 3.5 and DeBrus over 2.5 shot? Honestly, I did not look about this, Mr.
And look, I can check.
I can see this right now, but I did not look yet about this. Yamo, I can confirm with you shortly. Which game are you watching, Mr. Natap?
I was with you, I believe. Let me see here. DeBrusque had 3 shots on net.
Who?
What was the over and under? DeBrusque.
DeBrus?
He had 3 shots. 3 shots on goal he had.
McDavid have 5 shot on the net, Mr. Natap.
I think DeBrusque was at 3.5.
It was
he at
2.5, and I thought to get this,
And
if I get this.
Yeah. So I think they both got over.
2.5 shot and 3.5. Yep.
Perfect. So they both, as we predicted. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to listening us, Mr. ENORTAP. Take some Yamo. ENORTAP, are you a CFL fan?
Absolutely. Les Alouettes. Vive les Alouettes.
Look like we forgot Kelly yesterday, Mr. ENORTAP.
Where, in jail? We forgot her in
No,
jail?
look like we didn't put her name. I remember I moved her from one side to another side, and now she's back on the little board. So you never be back there, Miss Kelly. About this, we have other news, Mr. Natap. We're going to go quicker. We can
Just a
enjoy
typo,
update
Kelly.
around the
We
lake,
never
Mr.
forget
Natap.
you.
Do you believe the New Jersey Devils going to struggle with the Blackwood 3 to 6 week?
I do believe it, yes, because we've been through this song and dance all last year. They were one team. I think they used what
7?
7 different goalies, and here we go again. And that's why, I know you were very bullish on them and saying that they'll hit 100 points, but I don't quite think so. They'll come short, I think, but close.
Next one, the Colorado
But
Avalanche have another bad news, and Nick Cushion is going to be out for minimum 1 month after Lance Agag. Will be interesting what it could be the move, but they would try to find stay underwater, over the water. But it's another bad news when you have a scorer 27 goal out, then you're already missing Kadri, and you're missing now Burakovsky. So this is another bad news, Mr. Natap.
That's a big loss to Colorado. I could see, Coach, this could work in our favor. Maybe not right now, but later on, because I could see them coming knocking on Montreal's door for Dvorak.
Yep, you're absolutely right about this. The next one, Mr. Natap, is the Troy Zadina out for 6 to 8 weeks from an injury at the lower body.
Unbelievable. Like, they've been hit so hard, Detroit, this year with some key injuries and the whole situation about Verana as well being out. Bertuzzi and a couple of other players. Like, it's tough to lose regulars because it really messes up your lines that are trying to establish that that connection, that chemistry together, right? And you're forced to obviously make up the lines on the run, and sometimes they don't work out well, or it takes a while to get that chemistry, right? And it looked like Detroit was finally starting to come into their own, and now they've been hit with some really bad news there.
We want to welcome Would Like to Sleep. Yeah, I would like to sleep for sure, but thanks to be with us. Mr. Would Like to Sleep. The CH Chicago guys lost another goaltender. This time it's not luck. The good news, Mr. Natap, they got Marechek back.
For a few days. I'm not sure about Mrazek staying healthy.
So that's what happened. He's there for only for a couple of days, Mr. Natap, anyway.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah. And then that's the hockey change, right? The speed, the physicality, and that. But it's hard for the goaltender, Mr. Natap. They got hurt a lot since the beginning of the season. It's another year. We only crossed the 1 month, and we have many teams are losing already the goaltender.
And there isn't an excess of goalies out there, like, either through injuries or some teams that are saying, we're going to have to go looking for a goalie. Well, where are you going to find them? They're just, that surplus is not in the NHL anymore. I think that's why we've gone in sort of a backward direction with the development of our goaltending. As you notice, some of our best goaltenders are not from North America. They're from different places in Europe, right? Especially Russia right now. So it hurts a team, because if you don't have solid goaltending, you're not going to go very far.
You're absolutely right about this. Well, we have no time to talk about the Flame and talking about the Oilers. Unfortunately, two teams right now, they are really difficult to read. The Oilers didn't fix the problem with the goaltender. Honestly, you can see that. And then the Flame looking right now, what's going on with Huberdeau, anything like that. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. Turn it up. Maybe you don't know, because you always know this at the last minute. But tomorrow we're opening the door. Do you know where we're going tomorrow?
The saloon?
The saloon, open the door, Mr.
Yes,
Natap, with
yes.
new renovation, everything like that. We'll see who's going to. Maybe we'll hire some people. It won't be interesting, but will be our first appearance at the saloon tomorrow night. So we welcome everybody. Be ready. Roger will be at the front door with Danny, and uh, and then we're going to get there. So tomorrow, first time, Mr. Natap. So be ready with some kind of how many beer we gave to the fans of different teams. So be ready. It's 1 to 12, and you have to give us our number. So be ready tomorrow night,
Got
Mr.
it.
Natap. The first appearance
I'll
at the
bring my
saloon,
drinking
and
self with me.
we want to get so get your hat, get your boots, and let's move on to the next thing, Mr. Natap. Tonight we're going to talk about the first thing we want to go there, Mr. Natap. Yes, it is that time. And Roger already there, set up Mr. Nartap. He take the bug number one only. Honestly, he's ready to rock and roll to pick up a couple of people. And it's time to mention, it's time for the gel. And it was, we know this, we call this one, Mr. Nartap. This called Richard Modern Kelly Connie Gel. There's a new name we got. That's when you show up, Mister. When you show up at the front door, you can see that sign, sir. Richard Modern, Kelly Condino. Why? Because they dominate right now the leaderboard on the jail. If you want to move your name out, you cannot be at the jail, Mr. Natap. And this time,
Makes sense.
we have Marc Bourgier is going to be for the first time at the jail, following by Mr. Ron Kings 20. Both of them are
Oh boy,
finished with
run.
0-3. So a lot of space for them in the jail, Mr. Natap. They're not going to have too many people. There are a lot of
And
food.
we have to be thankful. We have to be thankful because they kept us out of jail.
They keep up us. I have a lot of people that can be thankful about that with Mr. Natap if I was to go that direction, because without many of you, I will be there many times. It's on the beginning of the season of the prediction, Mr. Natap. 11 game on the eyes on the program tonight, Mr. Natap. And let's starting about this. We welcome everybody back in the house. Thanks for being a part of the show. Don't forget to click on the likes. And Rita asked us this question before we move on, Mr. Natap. We can go there. What happening with Askarov?
Askarov is still in their system, I believe. He comes as a highly touted, very big goalie, very solid in net. But last I heard, which was probably we're going back just before the start of the year, that his progress hadn't gotten to the stage that he was doing well. It's not that he was doing poorly, but it's just they anticipated a quicker development in him. So I haven't heard anything since I'd say about September on him.
Yeah, he's still in the American Hockey League. Play
Is
for
he like?
the.
I think he's like 6'6", if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he
He's a
played with
big boy.
Milwaukee. I want to be sure he got this. He has right now 4.20 with 2.84, 0.890, Mr. Nartap. And
Right.
is a 6'4".
Oh, 6'4". Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to confirm with you, Mr. Rodal, about this. So good. First game, guys. Buffalo Sabre versus the Coyotes.
Oh, well, the Sabres, they return home, Coach, following a tough road trip where they dropped consecutive games against Carolina and Tampa Bay. I mean, very admirable opposition for sure. They'll have a much more favorable matchup against the Coyotes tonight, but even the young Sabres are a bit overpriced in this game, despite their strong start in the season. They had a strong finish last year, and they've carried it into this year, and you can see the momentum is there. They ranked second in the league in goals per game, so their offense has been buzzing, that's for sure. And they've definitely found the back of the net with ease. The Coyotes have not had that same kind of a successful start. Their present players that they have are sort of a mishmash of different players that aren't working as well as I think they had anticipated. But you know what? They're tough to play against. You got to admire the fact that they've shut things down a little bit better in the last, I'd say, 2 weeks. Because at the beginning of the year, they were allowing a phenomenal phenomenal amount of shots on goal and goals as well above the expected amount. So I like that. And anytime that you start Karel Vejmelka, you always have a chance. And Buffalo's going with Comrie tonight. So I'm going to go with the upset here on the road. I'm going to take Arizona to win this game 3-2, Coach.
Arizona 3-2. Nothing surprised me anymore. But I go with Buffalo. Dalen's back in the lineup tonight, so I go with Buffalo for the score 4-2.
Are you sure about that? That he is back? I thought he was still out.
Yeah, confirm.
Yeah. Okay.
Roger L, welcome back in the house, Mr. Roger L.
Yeah. Welcome. And our next game, oh my gosh, talk about hard games to pick here. Calgary and New Jersey. The Flames and Devils, they just faced off on Saturday night in Calgary, and Jersey was able to pull out the close win. I believe it was in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Now they get the opportunity to beat the Flames again, but this time at home. Calgary will also be coming into its into this matchup on the second night of a back-to-back. So that's never a good position to be in. Yesterday, I thought Calgary played a much better game last night, but it wasn't. They had some lapses again, and that's starting to really worry me when I start seeing that, because it tells me that not all the players are on the same page here, or there's some kind of disconnect. Could be from the coaching to the players. I'm not sure about that. The Devils, they're off to an excellent 9-3-0 start to the year, but as far as I'm concerned, they're due to start regressing to the mean. New Jersey has nearly an identical roster as they did last year when they started, or when they finished with the third worst record in the Eastern Conference. They also allowed the fourth most goals in the NHL last year, and are still rotating in goalies, and that's never a good sign with the carousel that they've endured over the last year, and now even this year with Blackwood. It's difficult to imagine that they keep up at this pace that they've been at. Not because I don't think they're a good team, because I think that they have some very talented players on this team, but I worry about them in net, and I worry a little bit less, but I still worry on defense. And for that reason, I think Calgary will come out of this with a victory. I'm going to go with them 3-2.
3-2 Calgary tonight.
Yeah, and Vladar, I believe, is confirmed as the goalie.
Yep, Vladar visit Vanecek. I go with New Jersey. I don't like the team play back-to-back game, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, sometimes. Let me write that down. 4-2 for Coach. Okay. And now it takes us to the Battle of New York yet again. We did this last week, and now we're back at it again this week. So we'll see what happens. This is a close, tough matchup. These two do not like each other. From what I'm hearing, it's Varlamov tonight, because the Islanders are on a back-to-back as well, and against Shesterkin. The Islanders, they played a tough game last night against the Flames, where they picked up that come from behind victory. Then now they're in Madison Square Gardens, where we know how that crowd can be on the second night of a back-to-back. The Islanders have thrived on the defensive end of the ice this season, allowing the fourth fewest goals per game to opponents. And while a stingy defense has been their focal point in New York, in Long Island over the past few years, it seems like they're executing this very, very well. I'm liking what I see from all six of their defensemen, but especially their top four. They're playing a very solid, tough, heavy game, and it's not easy for teams to play against them. The Rangers, on the other hand, I don't know. You look. There was a lot of conversation today with Gallant and about the secondary scoring. So he's messing around with the lineups tonight. I believe he's changing who's on there just to get guys like Lafreniere maybe and Kako going again. Like these guys, they're they didn't pick up where they left off in the playoffs last year, and so that's what's causing New York not to be at the level that they're supposed to be. And I think that'll give them some motivation. Plus, anytime you play against your crosstown rivals, it's always going to be a big, tough game. I anticipate the Rangers to score in an empty net and win this game by a score of 4-2, Coach.
4-2 tonight for the New York Rangers. But we are agree on that one.
Okay.
Yep. Jeffrey
Okay.
Curry is in the house. Welcome aboard, Mr. Curry. Thanks to be with us tonight. And we have next game, the Blues against the Flyers.
Ooh, sing me the blues. So here we go, right? A team that starts off the year 3-0 and now have lost 7 consecutive games, have not, and they're all in regulation, so they didn't even pick up a point in any of those 7 losses. And this is at the foot of, a team only meeting, and hopefully they had solved things and gotten motivated by it. But when you break it down, Coach, it's the goaltending that's the biggest part in my eyes. I think they also miss Perron quite a bit. I think this guy, you mentioned it yesterday on last night's show that he's a very underrated player, and every team he's been with, it's always been the same song and dance. Oh, Perron, he's finished. He's too old. He's not going to do what he did last year. And the guy, he defies old age. Like this guy just keeps scoring, and he's helping Detroit immensely this year. Um, and I think tonight, St. Louis is in tough again. The Blues are playing the second game of a back-to-back after having lost to the Bruins last night, and like I said, they're the recipients of 7 straight losses now. The Flyers, however, are surprising a few people. They have points in 4 of their last 5 games, and they sit currently in 4th place in the Metro. Now, I don't anticipate that'll hold up in the long run, but it's amazing that Torts came in, imposed a certain system with these players, and so far they've been buying in. But of course, the real big story here is they've tightened up defensively, and Hart has been just out of this world so far in the first 11 games that they've played. So that's the big thing. They're blocking a lot more shots, which doesn't surprise me because that's one of Tort's um, uh, things that he wants every player, not just defensemen, but every player to always get a stick in the lane, to get their bodies in front of passes and shots. And so far, it's working. And I think it'll continue again tonight, and we're going to be singing the blues again because Philadelphia is going to come away with a 4-2 victory in my eyes, especially with Grice in net tonight.
With who?
Grice
I go with St. Louis
for
Blues
St.
and
Louis.
ENORTAP.
Okay,
Hart
I'll
does not
forgive you.
play, so I go with.
Why is Hart not playing? He's playing.
No, he's hurt. He's sick.
He's sick.
Yep,
That's news to me. Oh well.
yep.
Okay, that's okay. I'll
I want
still
to
take.
welcome Mr. Rick Bengold, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house from Halifax.
Welcome aboard, sir. And next we have Vancouver and who do we have? Ottawa, of
Yep.
course. Yeah, this is another game that Boudreaux's been getting a lot of today. A lot of controversy with Rutherford and Boudreaux and the reporters spending the first 45 minutes of the press conference questioning him about how he reacted to Rutherford's comments. And Boudreaux put it best. He said, "You know what? The talent is there. They just have to play better." And he's got to find a way to bring this team around. I can't see I can't see him being fired at this stage. They'd be paying three coaches if that were the case, and that's not a wise thing to do. Plus, when you realistically look at it, we're talking about 12 games. They could still turn this around. It's just that you don't want to fall behind too far at this point. Right now, the Canucks are coming off of a 4-3 shootout loss at the hands of the Predators on Saturday, while Ottawa dropped its fifth straight game with a 2-1 loss to the visiting Flyers on that same day. Um, Ottawa has its own problems. It's not unique to them because the last 2 years they've done exactly the same thing. They've gotten off to a slow start. And while 4-7-0 doesn't sound horrible, for a team that's supposedly addressed a lot of holes and they've come into this game or into this year with a lot of hope. They can't let this get any further out of control for them. So I'm going to take Ottawa to win this game, and I really don't know what's going to happen with Vancouver if this streak persists. But I'm going to take Ottawa to win this one by a score of 4-3.
Yeah, I got this right with you. I think you missed the empty net. Marco, I'll be back in the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Welcome, Marco. And next we have our beloved Toronto Maple Leafs, I believe. And
we have Vegas. Yep.
Yes. Okay, so all is fine in Toronto. Don't worry. I know we were all screaming for general manager, coach, players to be traded, and then they come and string 3 wins together against unlikely opponents, and all of a sudden everything is fine. I think it's great that they've reached within themselves and have come out of this slump that they were in. But by the same token, it sort of takes the pressure off in addressing what's wrong with the team. And that kind of worries me for the Leafs' sake. Vegas has been very hot lately. They've been averaging 3.5 goals per game, while Toronto's off to a bit of a slower start in that regard with a 2.85. Last year, I think they ranked second in the league, probably behind Florida, if I'm not mistaken. The Golden Knights and the Leafs are about even in terms of goals allowed. Vegas is at 298, Toronto's at 307, so that aspect is not different. I think this is going to be a back and forth match tonight. We have, last I checked, Thompson against Shalgren playing, and I think the Leafs will win this one in overtime. I'm going to go with a score of 4-3, Coach.
Toronto 4-3.
Yeah.
All right. I go with the guess. What? 4-3.
The other way around.
Yes, sir.
In overtime?
No, they missed the empty net.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I think Mono is going to be the goalie at the last 25th second. He will make a stop with the stick, and then they will try to come back, and then Thompson is going to make a save against Matthews. Danny Rodriguez is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. So,
welcome, Danny.
So they are right now.
All right, now we have Edmonton and Tampa, another very perplexing game in my eyes. Back-to-backs aren't a rarity in the NHL anymore, or by any means. It's certainly doesn't help when both of the games are on the road as well, like they have been for Edmonton last night and now tonight in Tampa Bay. The offense has been there for Edmonton, but the defensive play has been, in my eyes, very disappointing. I know people have talked about Campbell and net, but Skinner's given him some good games and good minutes. So I wouldn't put it totally on the goaltending, although that does contribute. But I just don't see what's why their defensive structure has broken down. And that's really what's causing this. And when you have to rely on McDavid and Draisaitl to get you out of jams on a nightly basis, that's not a good recipe. Now, I do believe that they will get the ship rightened here, and they'll address some part of their defense at some point. But for tonight's match, it's tough. They're going in tonight, Campbell against Vasilevsky, and I put my money on Vasilevsky here, and Tampa's at home. And if Tampa jumps out to that quick lead, which I think they can do, because Edmonton has shown that pattern as well, they're hard to come back against. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win this one by a score of 4-3.
Tampa Bay said 4-3 about this one over there. Welcome back, Mr. Free Stuff. We're just missing Mr. The deal, and then we got great free three still. I go with 5-3 again. It missed the empty net, but it's okay. Not a big deal. Back-to-back game, I think, could hurt the Edmonton, obviously. But many people took Edmonton tonight, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, that was one of the tough ones for me to prognosticate for sure.
Here you go. So the easy game of the night, Montreal versus Detroit.
You would think, wouldn't you, Coach? The Habs, they roll into Detroit after that 6-4 defeat at the hands of the Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday. I think that score 6-4 was not really indicative of the game, because most of the goals came in that third period anyways. It was very, very close. Even early on in the third period, it was close. And then they lost their focus, I thought, Montreal. And they've been guilty of that, usually in the second period. But in this particular game, it was also in the third period. So that's one area that they have to really sharpen up in. We're going to have Josh Anderson missing the first of 2 games due to that suspension with the hit on Pietrangelo. So that doesn't help matters, because now, they're putting, I believe, Dandanov and Drouin with, I think, Monahan, if I'm not mistaken, on the second line. So we'll see how that works out. The Red Wings, they come into this game after a 3-2 win over the Rangers on Sunday. They've been off to, a good start, a very good start, given the kind of injuries that they've had. They're 7-3-2, and they're currently sitting, I believe, in second place in the Atlantic Division. So, a huge reason for this, I believe, is the play of Kubalik, who is manufacturing right now. I think he's at around 14, 15 points in the 12 games that he's played. And he didn't produce like this last year when he was with Chicago. So that's a good aid in their behalf. Now I expect the last time these guys played, it was a very, very close game. I think it was 1-0 going late into the third, and then there was a late goal plus an empty net, and so Montreal lost to Detroit 3-0. And I expect a similar feat, unfortunately. It'll be a close game, but for some reason, Detroit's had Montreal's number, winning 6 out of the last 8 meetings that they've played. So I think Detroit wins this, and I'm predicting the first shootout for Montreal this year. I think Detroit wins it 3-2.
I have the right score for you, Mr. ENORTAP. Hopefully, I'm going to be better, because I don't see that a lot. First, they announced Montembeault is going to be between the pipe, and today they announced it was Jake Evans. So Jake Allen.
Yeah.
So I was set up 5-2 with Montembeault. I was still with 5-2. I think Montreal is going to be another difficult game between the pipes and front of the net.
Yeah, it will be. The race for the NHL's Central Division's off to a really good start with the Stars and Jets. They're battling at the top of the division there at current time. Tonight, we kind of get a look, an early look at how this division will hopefully shape up. Of course, with the omission of, I'm not taking the Colorado into the equation here. Each team comes in with a very good record. Dallas is 8-3-1. The Jets are 7-3-1, and both have been riding win streaks coming into tonight. So this matchup, as I see it, it's really a toss up, and uh, I think the betting market does reflect this as well. Um, I do lean towards, in this case, the home team a little bit more for a few reasons. And I would say number one would be the goaltending matchup. I think Connor Hellebuck has been fantastic so far this year for Winnipeg with that 6-2-1 record he has and the 2.09 goals against and 936 saving percentage. He gives an edge considering that Jake Ottinger is out for the Stars. So I'm going to take Winnipeg to win at home, where they've been very good so far this year. I think they're 4-1-0. So I'm going to go with Winnipeg by a score of 3-2, and this too could go to overtime.
Oh, Winnipeg 3-2.
Yeah, and Coach went Dallas.
I go with Dallas 4-3.
I told you. We know each other
Welcome
too
back,
well.
Puck
That's
and
the problem.
Dream in the house. Thanks to be with us tonight.
Hey, Michael, welcome.
Thank you to be with us. Then Mr. 13, we call him Mr. 13, is in the house tonight.
Welcome, 13.
Nashville
Next, we have
Predator versus Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, well, the Preds continue their 5-game road trip tonight when they take on the Seattle Kraken. And I've been saying it for quite a while. I really like what I'm seeing with Seattle so far. They're very gritty, tough to play against hockey club. Their goaltending situation is much better. I think that the surprises, in my eyes, has been Jones. I think that we sort of are seeing the better side of Jones, because I know over the last couple of years with San Jose, well, he's been with a couple teams, but he wasn't performing anywhere near what he's doing so far this year. The Kraken are going to look to stay hot, I believe, tonight, as they've won 4 games in a row, including sweeping their 3-game road trip that just finished. So that part worries me a little bit, Coach, because anytime you return home from a long road trip, it for whatever reason it impacts on your play, at least in the first period, anyways. So that part worries me, but overall, I think they're clicking at a better rate than Nashville is right now. If you look at their projected data, they're at almost at opposite ends of the spectrum there. So I'm going to take the home team here to win by a score of 4-2.
Who win?
Seattle.
Huberdeau out with everybody, guys, for Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to mention that to you guys. Calgary, Huberdeau out. Seattle 4-2. I go Seattle 5-4.
5-4.
Yeah, don't ask me why.
Because they haven't been winning, Nashville.
I don't know. Seattle score goal, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, they've impressed me. They're very tough to play against. And
Yeah.
our last game of the evening is between Minnesota and the Los Angeles Kings. Last I checked, it was Fleury against Quick.
Yep.
They're both off to, I would say, mediocre starts in comparison to their expectations coming into the season. Minnesota, as you can see there, is 5-5-1. LA 7-6-1. With that in mind, the Wild have the luxury of entertaining this matchup with nearly a full week's worth of rest. Of course, they had to go out to LA, but like I mentioned, they haven't played since last Thursday when they were humbled by this aforementioned team Seattle by a score of 4-0. So they've had a few days to sort of address some of the problems from that Seattle game. They're one of the highest scoring teams so far in the NHL, especially well, since the beginning of the year. I was going to say as of late, but they've been scoring. That hasn't been the problem. The problem's been trying to keep the puck out of the net, and it's good to see that lately Fleury's been coming back into form. I still don't believe he's anywhere near where he should be to make Minnesota favorable going, deep into the playoffs, but I'm sure that he can correct that as the year goes along. The Kings were last year one of the best defensive teams in the NHL, but that's long by the wayside this year so far. They're allowing the sixth most goals per game, and neither of their goalies really have stood out in my eyes. Both Peterson and Quick have been average at best, and they really have to tighten up defensively if they want to stay in the wild card hunt and possibly higher. So I'm going to take Minnesota on the road to win this one, Coach, by a score of 5-2.
This is the first time, Mr. Notap, we are completely different tonight. Lesson Kings 5-3 against Minnesota. I'm concerned about too many injuries for Minnesota, still out 5 of the forward. So I think there will be
Tough to
some
play in LA. Yeah.
So that would be the reason I go with the LA inconsistency, like many of you said that about that. So really interesting, Mr. Notap. If I have a couple of questions before we go 7 o'clock, what it will be your result tonight?
Of which overall, you mean?
Yeah.
Out of the 11? Oh, good
how will you
God.
be happy?
Oh, I'd be happy. I think with if I got 6 out of 11, I'd be happy.
6
It's
to
tough
11.
tonight.
I think that was my
Yeah,
prediction, Mr. Nata, for me too.
yeah.
I was going to be 6 and 11 about this. And keep talking because I need to put. I did not put the.
Yeah, you know what? I really look forward to a number of these games tonight. I think, as we mentioned, not only were they hard to predict, yeah, you have to take a lot of factors into consideration. The back-to-backs come into play, the injuries come into play. We said earlier, the Montreal-Detroit game. I think that'll be a close one as well. And again, now Detroit had to incur another injury in Zadina. So, teams, I know it's early and we've only played anywhere between 11 to 13 games per team, but you got to be careful not to fall behind in the race too quickly and get yourself into deep trouble, because it's going to be hard to catch up and jump ahead of multiple teams when the time comes. And you could look at Vancouver last year. They
Yep.
fell behind so far, and they did, kudos to them that they brought it to a stage where I think they were still in it with about a week and a half to go. But in the end, they just couldn't jump over the last one or two teams left. So you got to right the boat at some point.
Here we go, Mr. Notap. Our 2 gamble tonight. Caulfield over 3.5, shot 1.8. What do you think about this?
And Detroit, the Detroit game's under 6.
And then
Yeah,
under 6 for Detroit game. So what would be your prediction? Detroit under 6 or Caulfield, of course, over 3.5?
I think Caulfield puts 4 shots on net, so I'll go with the over there.
Yep.
And I think Montreal and Detroit will keep this very close. And I think I predicted 3-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I'm going with under.
So this is our prediction tonight, Mr. Notap. So we're still there. So we go under a Caulfield 3.5. That concludes Mr. Notap show tonight. And we want to thank everybody to be a part of the show. And before we leave,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Here we go, Mr. ENORTAP. Great participation, everybody. Don't forget to click on the like before you leave the door. We're going to be right back in 1 minute to do the next game. Until then, Mr. ENORTAP, of course, we want to remind everybody, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what, Mr. ENORTAP?
Your 2022.
He said it again, Mr. ENORTAP. Thanks so much again for your participation, everybody.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. I can't wait to see you next couple of minutes, Mr. ENORTAP. I will see you later. Everybody have an amazing,
Go
great
Habs, go.
night. Thanks so much, Mr. ENORTAP.
Good night, Coach. Good